What's up, everybody?
The hats are here.
Wah, 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 wah.
If you didn't notice, the new Tom and Around Town hats have finally made it.
They're here, and I must say, we look adorable. Adorable.
Pretty adorable. So, guys, we've been waiting on the hats. We've been talking about all of our people that are Tom and Whitney's taking a selfie mid podcast.
I gotta do it.
We've been talking about everybody who's been Tom and Around Town, and you are killing it.
Killing
We've got
the game.
people posting, sending us stuff all the time, and so we've got a couple winners that are back ordered that we're about to send you.
That's right.
One of the new Tom and Around Town
Yep.
hats.
So we got Jeff and Lindsay are getting a hat. Yessie and Brandon are getting a hat. And Dave and Debbie.
Dave and Debbie.
Ba, 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 ba.
Guys, hats are coming your direction. Thank you for Tom and Around Town.
But look.
Oh, wait, we got more.
There's more.
Yeah.
We have Start More Parties. We have Tom, Tug of More. I thought it said established, but it doesn't. It's just
Can
Tom.
I wear this one?
Yeah. You don't have to match me. It's fine.
Wow, okay. Does that hurt your feelings?
I'm just kidding.
So we've got the Tom hat, and
I
then we
love
just
it.
have a More Church.
Oh, yeah. Then the man hat. I call it a man hat, but it's actually cute. Like, it's a regular hat. I don't know.
That's the Truston hat.
This one is more Truston vibes. Should I
They're
just wear
all
that one?
Truston vibes. I
Here's the
don't want
problem.
you to get stuck
I
in.
have a gigantic head.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I only have
Did someone
three.
tell you that, though?
No, I'm on the third. I only have three little notches connected.
Oh, well, okay. That is very
More man hat.
no, it's just
more like
more
grown man.
Trustin like vibes.
Trustin
of
vibes?
a hat,
Guys,
but I
we've-
love them all,
we've
and
got
they
the-
look good on you, all of them. You used to
Thank
not
you.
like to wear them.
No, well, as you get balder, you have to just either fly to Turkey.
What do you always say? You
Turkey,
always-
Turkey, and get.
Fiji or what?
I don't know, or you just have to start wearing a hat every once in a
Well,
while.
otherwise you'll get skin cancer, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
You
and
got
bald
to
spot.
protect from the sun.
Guys, welcome to the Tug of More.
Welcome to the Tug of More.
Just a conversation between two friends
Yes.
about all kinds of stuff.
That's right.
We're all over the place about where we are, about where we want to be, and the tension, the frustration, the annoyance that we aren't up there yet. We're still back here.
Right. But we got hats, so
But
now
we
I'm
got
happy.
hats. We got
I'm
hats,
just
so we're
kidding.
doing good. So these hats are going to be available for you at the Moore store.
That's right.
We're believing on after camp.
Yeah, sometime after camp. Whether it's the Sunday after or the Sunday after that, it'll be sometime in the
Well,
next.
because the Sunday after camp is Father's Day.
Yes.
Which would be great.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs a good Father's Day gift.
If we can get some more in.
If we can get 'em
'Cause
in.
We did a short run that I'm afraid the staff may purchase before it even gets to
Yeah.
the store. So that's the one benefit of getting to work here. This is the only one benefit that there is. No.
And like heaven.
Building the kingdom of God, like all the things. I'm
Obedience.
just joking. There's multiple things. But yeah, we are going to camp. This will air while we're at camp.
Oh, it is?
This is our camp week. So
Camp week episode?
You can change your hat.
Yeah, I'm going to put the red one on.
Put the red one on.
Because we're on Tom.
Yeah, we got to support our brand.
Tom and Around Town.
This is our brand.
So good.
Like the church is God's brand, but Tom is our brand.
No, God, hey, God, this was yours too. This was yours too. I'm off the
just
throne all the
joking.
way.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But
I'm with it.
are big fans of our. We put a bunch of words on a whiteboard. Almost 5 years. 5 years ago, almost.
Today's episode 170.
That's crazy.
You mean when we were trying to start the podcast?
Yes, and we were like, "What is it?" Da da da. Then something happened where we talked about tug of war, and the like fighting of the tug of war,
Yeah.
and that's how we eventually got to the tug. But we had all kind of words on the whiteboard. I wish I had a picture of that. I
probably do. You
I
probably
probably
got
do.
one.
I'm usually a historian, but now Tom, it's a thing.
Tom,
I
it's
love
a thing.
it.
Okay, so
Okay.
wait.
Camp, sorry.
Wait, before we get into camp.
Oh yes,
What's going on? I haven't seen you in a week.
we both went on vacation. Look how tan we both are.
No, I'm not tan.
You are tan.
I am my normal color.
Oh, okay. Well, you're always brown.
Whitney, okay.
No, you are.
Canceled.
No,
Whitney
you're always
Whitney
more brown.
went on vacation.
Yes.
I made family memories not in town.
Let's be clear. I also made family memories. We were talking about this morning with staff. It
We-
doesn't really matter how old your kids are. When you're a parent, even when your children are grown, you're still a parent on vacation.
Yeah, like when Rachel and I took our kids, it was beautiful. We went to
Yeah.
Colorado. It was fantastic. We had a great time. But it was not like sleeping in
Right. It's
and
not
like restful
you still have to feed everyone.
moments. Yeah, there's still a kid whining and wanting breakfast and
Right.
like, where's my iPad? And you know,
I'm bored. Or
I'm bored.
I overheard a lady.
This mountain looks like all the other mountains, and I'm like, okay.
I overheard this mom, and she brought her daughters like, I don't know what they were, probably some sort of, they were like obviously virgin, they were children, but some sort of fruity fancy drink or whatever. And she brings them over to them.
I thought you were saying obviously they were virgin. And I was like, what
the
are
drinks
you?
were not alcoholic.
Yeah, but you hadn't gotten to that
I'm
part
sorry,
of the story. And so I was
jumped
like,
ahead in my brain.
there's this mom talking to her daughters. Obviously they were virgins. And I was like, what?
Sorry. They were strawberry fruity something drinks. And she's bringing them to them. And they're like laying on the like lawn chair things, whatever they're called.
Whitney's family went to Hawaii.
We went to Hawaii and they're reading magazines and she's like, here, I got you guys these. She's like trying so hard, like moms do on these vacations, on these trips, trying to make a beautiful experience. And the one daughter is like, Mom, I'm so bored. I've never been so bored in my whole life. And you can see the mom's face at first is like hurt and like sad. And like, I just brought you these drinks that probably cost $15 or something. And she's like, and then all of a sudden her face changes and she goes, you're in Hawaii. You're not bored. And she hands it to her and walks away. And I was like, yeah, you tell them, get them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're making memories as a family is worth the effort, the stress, the energy. And so that's why we keep doing it. And then sometimes we get vacations, which is when you just go with your spouse and relax.
Which is, hey, kids, you're going to grandma.
That's right.
And me and my wife, who I married and said yes to,
that's who I
y'all
picked.
God gave me.
Yeah.
I picked her. We're going to go and spend some time together.
So you got to go to Colorado. You got to go to a beautiful cabin and the Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs, both, right?
Yeah,
Tell us, what's the best part?
I mean, the best part is just making memories with the family.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The best part is the like kind of chaos of making breakfast together in the cabin and the, loading up in the car and doing all the things. But yeah, we stayed in a beautiful cabin for 3 nights and then I had went by myself on sabbatical to this location and did the rail ride. So they have a abandoned railroad that they put these like bikes on.
Yes.
It's like recumbent 4-person bikes. And so
Very
I did it by
cool.
myself. Then I took Rachel and I did it. And then now we took the kids.
Oh, I love
and so
it.
it was like a fulfilled moment. It's like, I'm being a good dad. And so we went and rode the rails and that was fun and did a couple hikes and saw a waterfall. And then, just hung out a bunch. And then they have a hammock there. And so all the kids got to lay in the hammock for a long time and read books. And then, we drove. It's about 3 hours farther, like northeast to Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And so there's a place there, the headquarters of Focus on the Family.
Yes.
And so Focus on the Family is a like Christian ministry organization that produces Christian content.
Yes.
So they do like magazines and TV shows, but then they have this whole branch of kids ministry. And so me growing up in the church, my mom and dad bought me Adventures in Honesty cassette tapes.
Yes.
Here's a picture of Adventures in Honesty. And so
do you remember when we tried so hard to find that picture for your office and it took so long to find it because back in the day, there was not internet like that.
Early 90s, there was not as much stuff. And so I would listen to these cassette tapes. They're Bible stories, or they're not just Bible stories. They're like Christian themed stories, And so I would listen to these going to sleep every night of my life. And I mean, not of my life, but like legit until puberty.
Yeah.
And so my mom kept all those tapes and she gave them to
cool.
us and our kids started listening to them on cassette tapes. Well, then the cassette tapes over time started breaking and all the things. And so now we bought the app. And so I'm telling you, every night, Lillian and Titus are listening to these stories.
So fun.
And they're getting the word of God in them. So
absolutely.
In Colorado Springs, they have the headquarters and they have a whole like tour of this place. Then they have the little soda shop that's kind of the main place of the store. And so we went and toured it and bought little souvenirs and stuff. And
here's a picture of your family at Adventures Odyssey, or what is it called?
Yeah, Adventures Odyssey. Yeah.
And here's a picture at the Garden of the Gods. Yes.
Do you know why she wanted those photos? Because she knows that what I'm going to do next is ask her about her trip, and then she's going to get to flex her photos.
Stupid.
Aaron and Whitney. So Rachel and I, we took our kids, and one of the days we did a tour of a silver mine.
Oh yeah.
And so we're literally like in a mountain, like doing a tour, and going into a tour, you don't know if it's going to be good or if it's going to be lame.
Right.
It was boring.
It was lame.
The tour.
Well, I don't know.
It's about like rock mining.
Yeah.
Lillian is like where are we right now?
Titus is learning every fact to take home.
And so while we're in this hole in the ground, wearing borrowed coats because it's cold, Whitney and Aaron send us their photo of them on the beach with their family, and it's like the most beautiful background, matching outfits, makeup is all done.
Yeah.
And so Rach and I are like, kids, come over, and we snap a photo in like a dark coal mine.
Yes.
And
with a hat in between you.
And we were like, here's where we are, and we were all
Truston
laughing.
sent us a side by side or whatever. And he
Ready?
was like,
and so we were laughing
Yeah,
at the contrast of our trips.
we, in the past, historically, I have been like trying to find a photographer, and we've gone to this other island a couple times, and so we have a photographer there. We just have a guy that we met there that's taken our picture a couple times, and so this time we were like, I'm not doing it. I'm not spending the money. But Easton has been looking at a camera that he wants like personally to buy. And so we decided to rent it for the week so he could try it out before he spent the actual money on it. And so I was like, my one requirement is that I will help pitch in for this rental as long as you take a family photo for me.
But how did Easton take the family photo, but in it? Did they have like a little remote control?
No, we bought a tripod on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And then put it on a timer.
Hey, I feel like we need to demystify something.
Yes.
Travel cost.
Okay.
Can we demystify it just for a minute? Because there might be
Sure.
listeners that are going, must be nice to be a pastor.
Oh,
Y'all traveling around the whole country, going to Hawaii, hiring a professional photographer.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you something. Aaron Whitney and I sat through a
90-minute presentation.
We sat through a 90-minute
Shut
presentation,
up.
straight up said no at the end,
Yeah.
got a whole bunch of free points, and then after you say no, they're like, but today there's this special offer. For this couple
Today only.
For this couple $100, you can buy a whole other week's trip anywhere in the world. And so that's what we do.
That's what we did. It was wonderful.
We've been sitting through those things saying
been
no
doing it, hey.
for years.
They don't know. I don't know how they don't know, but they don't know that I've already said no.
Y'all, hey, Hilton and y'all got to get your junk organized.
Yeah.
Because y'all keep giving me free trips.
So we got to do that.
So before you start saying, man, must be nice,
No, it's true.
you got to learn how to work that thing.
You know, I've learned in life is that you afford what you want to afford. Like, you have to move your
Well,
budget.
we
to
drove.
be- right.
We drove to Colorado.
And like we made, so in our hotel room, it had a fridge in it. So we made we ate out dinner. That was like our thing. Except for one day, like a couple days we swapped and ate out lunch and made dinner. But we only ate out one meal a day, and then we would make the other two meals ourselves, which saves a ton of money. And then
That's exactly what we
that's
did.
how we do it to try to, save the cost and be able to go to beautiful places. So you find the way to make it happen. Yes, good call out. And so again, I did not. Somebody said, I think it was Treva. Shout out Treva. Treva messaged and said, "Do you travel with a personal photographer?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, Easton.
Actually, I do. And so I was like, yeah, that's actually exactly what happened. And I was like, you can take this photo and we will take it. So we got two different outfit, 2 different moments, 2 different nights, a family photo. And I was like, I did it. We did it. And I shout out to Braden and Kawhi, but I didn't have to pay all the money.
It was just funny because Rachel and I on our trip were literally in like gym shorts.
Yes.
And her in yoga pants the entire trip. And then we keep seeing photos from y'all like you're at like
We
a
literally
movie
would
reveal.
get dressed for only the photo and dinner. And then it was like, and now we're back in our swimsuits and nothing else.
Can we just talk about how expensive it is to take kids to restaurants?
Golly.
It's the worst.
It's so the worst.
Well, Rachel and I used to be able to go on a date for like $40.
Yes.
Now you got to feed these scrub kids.
You got to take everyone
I'm spending $100.
every time.
And so I'm like, nope, we're cooking
Look,
at the
Julia,
house.
wait. Just wait.
Just
Don't
wait.
have kids until you got to.
Because now my kids are big enough that they are too big to order off the kids meal, but they're still picky.
Right.
And so like I find myself like ordering an extra side
to try to help
help it along because they didn't like it. And by the time the bill comes, I'm like, dude, what is going on?
We went to the Big Island, which is where Mele is from.
Shout out Mele.
And I asked her, I said, send me what is your like good cheap food. And she was like, it's Hawaii. There's not cheap food. And I was like,
Spam.
I know.
Spam's the only option.
Do you want me to give you a confessional of one of our night dinners? So fancy. Actually, it's the night after we took that picture because we couldn't decide what we were doing. We were like, whatever. And we got there on Monday, which was Memorial Day. And Costco is a good employer and they give their employees off Memorial Day. It was closed on Memorial Day. And so everyone was like, you know what? We need to go to Costco. We still haven't gotten to Costco. And when we get to Costco, you know what they decide? Can we just eat at the Costco food court? And they wanted to, so we did.
I want a chocolate chunk cookie. Have you seen that family?
We got the chocolate shake. It was so good. And then they have, I don't know, hot dogs. And apparently there's some guy on YouTube that does, what is it?
Food reviews?
Bombs? 3 bombs? What is it?
I have no
3
idea.
booms. 3 booms. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know there's some guy on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm an idiot. I don't know anything about it, but they were like, "This is 3 booms, man," and they kept saying boom, boom, boom. I don't know, 3 booms. So one of our meals was Costco. That is a great money-saving tool on vacation.
Yeah, that's a hack.
It was literally like $15 for all of us to eat dinner.
What Rachel and I do all the time for dinner is I'll swing by and grab a rotisserie chicken.
Yes. I did that
"Wait a
last
second,
night.
This is only $5.25.
Yes. I
give
did
me-
that last night because
Yeah.
we were getting home late from the airport, and I was like, I'm having a rotisserie tonight.
All
Okay.
right. Oh, I'm a little mad.
Uh-oh.
Well, because you guys got to go to the place that I've been talking about
yeah.
how I've wanted to go
Yeah.
for 5 years.
Yeah. Here's
You
a
went to
picture of Aaron and I above the clouds. Truston's been talking about the Keck Observatory.
the Keck Observatory because I'm a nerd.
But it's at the top of the Mauna Kea mountain.
These
and
scrubs
so
went.
we went up the mountain. We did not, according to them that day, it was not open to the Keck Observatory. Well, there's lots of observatories up there. What I
Yeah.
found out. It's
Yeah.
multiple countries.
It's because they don't have the same light pollution
Correct.
that we have here. Now,
There's
you go
all
outside
kind of
in
laws in
Mansfield or
Hawaii.
Arlington and look up in the sky, you see about 5 stars.
Right.
Whereas out there, you're on top of a mountain, you see the kaleidoscope of the universe.
It's true. And really, even at night, just anywhere you are, you can look up. There's so many Hawaiian rules and all that to protect the ocean and all the things. But it was very cool. So we went, that was one of those moments where Aaron and I was like, see, if we come by ourselves, we can do whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
When we have 5 people, then we're at the mercy of.
Yeah.
And so he and I made it all the way up to the little top of the summit thing and they were like halfway up, and then they're like, "We're cool. We'll see y'all when you come back down." And I'm like, "Dang it!" And then I fell and scraped my leg. Look,
Oof.
I'm an old lady. It really hurt, but it's okay. I'm fine. But it was only a minor fall. But now that I'm older, it felt like a tragic fall.
Well, that's a real thing. The older you get,
Yes.
we've got a big flatbed trailer, the church does, and I was moving some picnic tables around the other day, and I was about to jump off the trailer, and for years I've just jumped off this trailer, and I was standing at the edge like, I'm going to climb off this trailer
right.
now. And I was like, no, I want to keep jumping off the trailer.
But then the next day, you're like, "Oh,
I
my
didn't do it.
joints."
I didn't do it.
We
All
have to
right.
take magnesium for everything. That's what we're learning.
Yeah, Whitney and I were texting each other, just take some magnesium before you go to sleep, you'll be fine. And Whitney
these are the
says,
exciting-
these are the old people texts that we're now sending
I
to
was
each
like,
other.
but I got triple form, so I'm good. Like, these are the lame texts we send. Okay, what are we talking about today? We don't know.
We're talking about all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
so we went to vacation. Now
We have
we're preparing
Now we have a week.
to go to camp.
We have a week of like normal life.
Yes,
And then we leave on next Monday for camp.
that's right.
And so we're gone for another week.
It's exciting and it's wonderful and it's work.
I have a win. I have to celebrate.
Oh,
so
celebrate.
last summer between vacation, camp, I went and preached another camp. I gained about 12 pounds last summer.
Oh, yeah.
And so my goal this summer is to just not gain any weight.
Yeah.
And so I'm back from one trip, didn't gain any weight.
You didn't?
Hey, you got to celebrate the little wins.
Yeah, I'll celebrate with you. So I got on the scale this morning because I had a doctor's appointment and I gained 3 pounds.
Well, you can deal with it at
it's
camp.
not 7. Usually it's about 7 or 8 after vacation for me, and it was only 3, so I was proud of it. I'll get it off.
But 3,
it's mostly water weight from the
is,
airplane.
3 is questionable.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean,
So,
last year we went to camp, and on the drive to camp is Russell Stover's factory.
Oh,
Russell Stover's factory. And so Rachel and I pulled in there, this chocolate factory.
Yes.
And I bought, I don't remember how many pounds, 8 pounds or something of chocolate. I was like, I'm going to pass this out. In the back, they have these boxes called Oops.
I remember
boxes.
this. Yes.
And it's like when stuff comes off the factory line, it's not perfect. They throw in the Oops box. And it was super cheap. It was like next to free. I bought so much chocolate. I was like, I'm going to give this out all week. Nope. I just ate. I bet I ate a pound of chocolate every day at camp. And so I'm not going to do that.
Remember, you put it in a sermon.
Oh yeah, I've talked about it
because
because
you were trying to like get rid of it, and so then he was like, "And now I have this in the sermon. Anyone can come get a piece of cake."
So yeah, I'm not going to do that this year.
You were doing good though. You were doing good, like in your workout weight and all that.
Then I was.
Yeah.
But then I was not prepared for traveling.
it
And
was just
traveling threw me all the way
all
off.
for a loop. But
Because you eat a bunch of bread. I don't know why. When I travel, it's just like, sandwich,
well, because you have
burger.
to keep it. What is it called? Perishable, non-perishable.
Yeah.
More. I don't know.
You're eating junk.
Okay, so we're going to camp. I love camp. You love camp. You have gone to more camps than me because I took a siesta from going to camp for a while.
When you backslid for just a minute.
No, I just was being a mom and stuff. But you have gone how many times?
I've went to camp.
You counted it. Remember?
Yeah,
you said
I've went to camp at least 1 week every summer of my life since I was 5.
yeah.
But then, like, I became a youth leader and would go 3 to 4 weeks, and then I started preaching camps and would go to 6 or 7 weeks.
You counted and it was like you've been at camp 1,000 days or something.
Yeah,
What was
I've
it?
been at camp like close to 2 years of my life.
That's crazy. It was crazy when you counted. Whatever it was, I was like, that's a lot.
It's crazy how much time I've been at camp. But yeah, so we're getting ready to go to camp again this year.
Yes.
And like, do you and I need to go?
No.
No, our team's got it, but we.
Oh yeah, we do not go. We actually do not go to be helpful. We go, which I mean, whatever. But we go just to love the team and love the volunteers and love the kids, and love the students, which is kind of a gift. And we've had people say like, "Weird, I've never seen pastors do it like this."
Yeah.
But guess what? We get to do what we want. So.
Well, and we go for that, and because like I think it's a big deal to be aware of the diets that our kids are being fed spiritually.
Absolutely.
And so like at camp, we bring in a speaker. We bring in speakers. And so we sit in the services and pay real close attention to how that's all being navigated. But even talk to the speakers before they get up and preach. Because there's a couple issues. You know, you're talking about breaking addiction. You're talking about like hard stuff you've went through. You're talking about the baptism of the Holy Spirit. You're talking about all these things.
And we have to make sure we're in alignment.
And I want to make sure that that they're in alignment.
Well, and the reason we made the decision we made 3 years ago to do our own camp is so that we can be in control of the way the altar goes, the way the spiritual, that's a great way of saying it.
So it's not a bunch of kookiness.
Yeah.
And it's not
hype.
only games.
It's not only hype and it's not only, And what a gift. And so we've gotten the opportunity, I feel like what's cool the last few years, to be a part of the altar moments and really help pastor and lead the students, but also the leaders leading the students, which is a cool experience that, we don't get anywhere else. So
camp,
we go and it's worth it.
Camp's one of those memories that you just hold on to and retain.
Core memories.
Core memory. It's core memory. So I think that's what we talk about.
Okay.
The power of memories.
Oh.
Having and making memories. So like I took a week, took my kids all over the place. I didn't do it for me. I did it for them, right? I'm trying to make memories with the kids. You and Aaron probably would have had a cheaper and more enjoyable vacation, but you took the kids to make a memory.
Absolutely. To establish, I think establishing memories is then what kind of establishes the core of like the dynamic of your home, your life, your family, and like the memories are what you kind of hold on to that capture the essence. I don't know, I was trying to come up with the right word. The culture, the essence of who you are. And so like, I know your family. Well, you sent us a video. You made a fun video, like Jurassic Park-esque of your kids. Yeah. And like Lillian is hilarious at the age that she's at. She's like so confident. And so she's like singing the da-na-na-na-na or whatever. And I'm like, you had to have laughed.
Oh, so much.
Through that, right? Yeah. There had to have been a moment where somebody didn't record it right or didn't do it, and then no, Daddy, do it.
Yeah,
this
we
way.
shot it 8 times.
Yeah,
probably,
like there's a moment of like conflict. There's a moment of joy. There's a moment of like we did it, fulfillment, and like these memories stick with us. It's not just the memory of a beach and a beautiful, serene.
No, it's together.
It's the togetherness of like, and the conversation that can come from that, and it's like. I told Aaron one night we were talking, and I was like, the payment of vacation is not for it's not for the actual pictures that we're showing and posting. It's the conversation that later, would I have paid X amount of dollars to have that conversation? Absolutely. But the only way I can foster that is by this moment being shoved together in room together, in space together. And Brady is the best. She is our daughter-in-law, and she and I have a very similar heart for the connection. And so she always helps me in the moments of like, and does it without even realizing it, that I'm wishing for it, of like, hey guys, what do we think about? And we'll end up in these deep conversations. That is kind of what the goal for me, at least in this season with the older kids, of memory making, that it's like, I'm going to remember that we talked about that on this beach in this place. We went to another place, or another like resort. We were walking through the beach and whatnot, and there was this hat that had a picture of a boat on it. And one of my best memories with our whole family is when the year we went to Maui. We got to go out early in the morning. They took us on a kayak. It was like part of staying at this hotel. You could just sign up for it. It was included. And they took us out at sunrise. We ended up seeing a whale comes up like right near our boat. And it was this moment of like fear and conquering of fear, because then the guy was like, just put your snorkel mask on and go like quietly into the water. We swam with turtles, like, and it's this beautiful memory. I am not a snorkeler. Aaron will snorkel for all day long if we let him. Mm-hmm. I'm not a snorkeler. I don't really want to be that close to animals.
Aaron will snorkel so long you think he died.
That literally one time I was like, well, guys, I might be going home
like
with
literally
you.
I'm running back and forth on the beach. Like
where is this dude?
Where did he go?
He's literally swimming for hours. It's not an exaggeration. But for me, I'm like, I don't really want to be that close to, but there was this like, other earthly, like heavenly, I don't know, moment with this whale that our family captured together. And it's like, we still talk about it 6 years later, where it's like, do you remember that moment with and so I ended up buying this dumb hat for $15 because it had this boat on it that reminded me of this memory. And I was like, I wasn't even going to buy a souvenir, but I did, because I remember how we conquered this moment together. And there's something that builds camaraderie, love, trust, and it's based in those memories. So it's worth it. I don't know.
So
keep talking.
I would say, so to parents that are still taking kids on vacations, you've got to change the expectation that it's not about like, did you hit every roller coaster at Disney?
Right.
Or like, did we get the perfect photo or whatever? It's these like unplanned moments that are beautiful memories, because it's kind of like you're on vacation and you're kind of able to leave your devices, your email, your phone calls, your text messages away, and nobody's bothering you. And like your kids can't go out to dinner with their friends, right? Because they're on the other side of the country or whatever, or even an hour away if you're doing a more staycation vibe.
Absolutely.
And those memories are valuable, but they're expensive. Yeah. Because they cost you time. Right. And they probably cost a little bit of money to get somewhere. But those memories are a big deal. We had a moment, we had a great time. Uh-huh. Like the kids were not fighting, like things were really going. Yeah. And we had just left Garden of the Gods. Okay. Which is like a outdoor hikey thing. Mm-hmm. The kids loved it. Yeah. They climbed up on a bunch of rocks. Titus saw a guy with a bearded dragon on a leash. He was thrilled with bearded dragons, like a lizard, you know? Yes, yes. So they're having fun. And we're headed to a world famous penny arcade. And everything was more than a penny, right? To my frustration, because I spent my dismay. I spent $60, not $6, playing all these different games. And it's like super cool. 8 different buildings full of old school video games. Because they're cool. Old school, super cool. And while we're driving there, we're just drive by, and I see this giant statue of Optimus Prime. Oh. And it's in the parking lot of a body shop, like a car's scratch and dent body shop. Yes. So I yank the wheel over and do a U-turn and go into the parking lot, and me and Titus, get out. And for some reason, he's got a bad attitude. And I don't know, like, wait, what just happened? We were just having so much fun. Yeah. We're driving here. We're going to take a picture. And he starts having this kind of like, I don't want to get out. And I'm like, well, here, come, buddy, take a picture with me and Optimus, you know? Yeah, yeah. And he's just kind of standing there, arms down, like, not smiling. Rachel's like smiling. He's like giving the worst smile. And I get mad. Well, yeah. Now, I don't like lose my junk, right? But I'm like, what are you doing here, dude? Right. Smile. And now he knows that I'm frustrated. Mm-hmm. And so now the water works. Yes. So he's crying. And so I'm telling myself, dude, stay calm. It's okay. He's tired. Maybe it's lunchtime. It's not lunchtime. We just fed him. What's going on? So we get back in the car and we kind of have a big come to Jesus about like where we are. Right. And how we're going to act and all the things. And it starts to go bad. Yeah. 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 You know what I mean? Oh, I know. Because Lillian's coming to defense of Titus.
And Daddy, you should have this way.
And so like I'm naturally harder on Titus and Rachel's naturally harder on Lillian.
Yep, that's how it is.
Is that how it is?
100%.
Which is probably an episode that we need to invite some better parents than us to come tell us what to do.
I don't know why.
Because I'm like, she'll crush Lillian, but Titus is her little baby and vice versa, the same thing. And so we finally get to the Penny Arcade and we're pulling up and like, we're all just kind of fuming. And I said, hey guys, let's all get out of the car. Let's all get out of the car. Let's go out of the car. And so we're all standing there and I said, grab hands, and we prayed in the middle of the thing and I start crying and they all start crying.
Oh.
And there's like people walking by, but none of us cared.
Yeah.
And it was this beautiful, like, we love each other.
Yes.
We've spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
We've done a good job. We're going to go and have fun. God help us reset. And for me and for the kids, it's one of those moments of us like praying in public.
Yeah.
And like fight, restoration, back into fun. That was like, this doesn't happen.
Right.
This doesn't happen if we're just going to grab In-N-Out.
No, correct.
In Mansfield. This doesn't happen going to Home Depot and getting the honey-do list done. Like these conflict things, it's a memory.
It's a memory.
That it costs a 12-hour drive.
Well, and it is, but it's...
and $100 dinners that I could make.
Because I think the other part that's important in these memories is that you made a decision also to not lose your crap, but to pull it together and to like say, how can I
teach?
How can I rework this moment? Because for me, for years, I've talked about it before, like my perfectionism of really my defaults of like wanting to have happy family memory moments, because I didn't have a ton of like family vacation happy moments as a kid, but I really want to recreate that for my kids. And it was like I was so determined that you will have fun and you will smile and we will love it and that I would just ruin moments all the time. That then for years it was like, once I realized it was now this, okay, how do I chill out and not force a moment, but then how do I actually ride the moment?
Yeah.
That is a great way to say it.
Yeah.
I remember the first vacation that Brady went with our family on. We went to Telluride in Colorado. Maybe it's the air. Maybe it's the lack of oxygen.
Yeah, I'm suffocating in this place.
And we were in Telluride, and it's a beautiful place. We've been there together too. That it's so much fun, wonderful time, all things. But then, it was like McKinley started having a bad attitude, and then Easton got frustrated at her. And then, but what was actually happening was this realization of our family is changing.
Right, Brady, who's this chick?
This girl is now coming on this trip, and likely they were just got engaged or about to get engaged. Oh, they hadn't got engaged. They're about to get engaged. And it was like, this girl's going to be on our family trips for the rest of forever. And at this moment, like Brady and her get along great. They love each other. So it was like, what's going on? But I can remember this moment of like, oh, and then her and Easton start having this conflict. And then Brady's like kind of upset and it's my fault. And I'm like pulled her and I was like, it's not your fault. You are like, did this change the dynamic? Absolutely. But we're super glad that you did. And we made Easton and McKinley sit in the living room alone together and talk it out. And the three of us stayed back in our bedroom together and talked. And it ended up being this great opportunity for them to have a real conversation and for her to admit, hey, this is hard and changing, and him to say, I'm going to always love you, even though, and like it was started and my insides freaked out. Oh my gosh, we're not having a perfect time.
This trip is ruined.
This trip is horrible. Brady's going to hate us and never want to go on a family vacation with us ever again. Like all of my inner dialogue starts coming. But instead we were able to like establish it. And we actually talked about it on this trip where at a moment somebody got kind of a bad attitude and somebody said, hey, do we need to have another Telluride moment or are we good? And it like was this moment where everybody's like, I didn't say it. Somebody else, like one of the kids said it. And it's like, oh, we're good. Yeah, we're having the moment again. Oh, and it established the culture of, hey, we talk things out. If things go awry, do we need to talk things out, or are we just having a bad attitude and need to realize we're hungry or whatever?
Yeah.
And these moments don't happen unless you intentionally create them and make them happen, and then do the work to heal so that you're not crazy and lose your junk in it. But like, yes, what a good forever. You're gonna have this memory of like, hey, we solved this. And there's something about the family being able to solve the problem together too, even if it's just emotional conflict problem, that makes you like, we did it. We're doing it. Like, I don't know if you've ever been on a trip when you ran out of gas or got a flat tire or had a moment like that. And it's like, hey, these memories, they can be good or bad, but they establish a lot of the future of what hopefully is building blocks to the family you're wanting to create.
Now, what you haven't shared is who saved your whole vacation.
Oh, I did not.
You
How
heard
have we not?
all of these heroes. Y'all watched all these movies with the heroes. But Aaron and Whitney, they desperately needed a hero to save this entire vacation.
Hero. What's that song? Yeah. So
I think of Ernest saves Christmas. Truston saved the Bartha vacation.
You did 1,000%. We had a busy week the week before, and so my normal like checklist brain was firing the morning of rather than the week before, and I forgot that in America, starting May 7th, you have to have a real ID. I thought you said it this morning. I thought they were all real. They're real, but they put this little star on it or something. And Brady, in her changing into Brady Barth, something happened there where we said, "Leave your driver's license, Brady Young."
She's from Arkansas. Listen, she's from Arkansas. It's a jank state. They don't got their stuff together.
So she has not yet updated her driver's license to Texas.
They print your driver's license on a leaf.
Stupid.
It's jacked.
And so I had thought of it like a month ago and then forgot. And the morning of, we're driving to the airport. We just on 360, just past 20, heading up, going by Six Flags. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, the real ID. And I said, Brady, do you have a star on your driver's license in the top right corner? And she's like, what? And I was like, pull your driver's license out right now. So she pulls it out. She doesn't have it, alas. And I'm like, starting May 7th, which this is May 24th or 5th, we're screwed. We're screwed. You can't go to the airport and fly on an airplane, which I found out because airports are smart. There was some sort of paperwork we could have filed, but I don't know if she would have made the flight, all the things, who knows. So I called my friend.
That's this guy.
And I said, because we had another story where McKinley left her luggage at home and I should have called you instantly and I didn't do it. And I've regretted it ever since. And so I'm like, just call my friend. He will save the day. I know him. You live to save the day. Mm-hmm. It's kind of part of your...
It's part of my vibe.
Part of your vibe.
That's what they call me.
If we're driving...
Save the day, Truston.
Save the day. If we're driving somewhere, I literally thought of you again later on in the trip because there was a couple on the side of the road and they had clearly had a flat tire or something and we did not stop. And I thought, we're the worst. We did not stop. Truston would have stopped 1,000%. But we were on our way to a thing we had to get there at a certain time. Couldn't stop. Anyway... Called you, said, what are you doing right now? And you were doing something. Uh-huh. What were you doing?
I was out of the land doing something. I don't remember what I was doing.
Oh, and so you were like, I'm out and about. I said, are you in Mansfield? You said, yeah, I'm in Mansfield. Why? What do you need? And I was like, do you want to be a hero today?
So I already knew.
I know my friend.
I already knew I'm driving to the airport. I just didn't know what was happening.
I was like, just tell him ahead of time. You're the hero. You get to win all of the awards
Insert
for being the hero.
Manipulation.
1,000%.
Like, I'm your friend. I don't need to be manipulated.
I know, but I still did it. And so anyway, you went to Easton and Brady's house and broke in, got her passport because I knew she had a passport that she could fly with. And so he brought it
from the phone call to the moment I handed Brady her passport was 38 minutes.
It's amazing, which is amazing because the airport
Danger
is
Ranger, baby.
Always 30 minutes at least from our house. And so I don't know how you did it that fast. Here's the video of him saving the day.
Who shot that, Brady?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have a bone to pick with Easton and Brady.
Oh, what? What happened?
My feelings are a little bit hurt.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Maybe I shouldn't even put this in.
What happened?
We should cut it.
What is it?
So y'all give me the code to break into their house, right? So I'm at the garage, beep, 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 and I break in
know
their
what
house.
you're going to say.
I bought Easton.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole conversation piece in our house.
I bought Easton a nice toolbox.
Yes.
Like garage toolbox with the rollers and the drawers. Nice toolbox.
Yes.
For their wedding.
Which is in the end of this month, a year ago.
It's still in the box.
Yes.
It's still in the cardboard box shoved in the corner.
This boy.
I guess you can just give it back to me.
No.
I'll take a toolbox.
So it's been a whole piece of conversation because
I gave one to Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler got his toolbox put together.
Yeah. He hasn't done it. And Aaron keeps being like, I'm gonna make him ask me to come help him put it together. I'm not gonna ask him because we'll be like, shouldn't you go help him put that together? No, he's gonna ask me. This scrub, he hasn't done it yet.
Easton,
put the thing together.
What are you doing?
What are you doing with all your tools? He doesn't even have that many probably, but that's fine.
All right, guys, memories.
Okay, memories. But you have the memory of buying it for him, even though there's no memory.
Yeah, listen, all through the Bible, it talks about the power of remembering.
Yeah.
And so right now at More Church, we're preaching through all these Old Testament stories. And time after time in the Old Testament, after there's a big moment, they collect a bunch of rocks and they build a monument. And what they do is they say, when you walk by this in the future, someone's going to say, what is this big pile of rocks here for?
Right.
Oh, it's so you'll remember what happened.
Right.
And if the Bible speaks so much to remembering, I think that we need to be intentional to like make times to remember things with each other. And like, this is the reason that they say you need to still be dating your spouse.
Right.
Because I think that it's in those moments that you're able to look back and remember, but also have a moment about like what God did. And Rachel and I, we fell into a pattern. Well, you know, when you have young kids, it's super hard.
Absolutely.
But like we fell into a pattern of not ever going out on a date with each other. But then when we started getting better at it, you know what we did? We just started doing the same old thing.
Right.
We go to the same restaurant. We order the same food. We park in the same parking lot. And it was like, wait a minute, we're not making new memories.
Right.
We're just going to dinner. Mm-hmm. And it was like, we have to get better at making new memories with each other. Like putting ourselves in unique moments to go and do something fun.
Yeah, we were talking about it on our trip because, you know, Brady grew up in a different house than us. And so she's like, you always do something different. You guys always try, like, do you ever just go and just sit on the same beach doing the same thing? And I was like, yeah, we've done that. But also there's something about the adventure that creates a new memory and makes for like a new experience that brings out pieces of your personality, pieces of your trauma, whatever that you don't even maybe all the way know are there. And it's a cathartic, but also like a learning, I think, experience. We went and swam with manta rays at night. It's like there's only a few places in the world that you can do it.
Yeah, because it's probably real traumatizing to the manta rays.
It probably is.
Look at all these weird
apparently
they don't animals down here with us
actually see they don't see you as humans or whatever. You're just like in the way because they only eat plankton, which made me think of SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know what plankton is, but I remember them talking about it on
plankton
SpongeBob.
is like microscopic ocean plants.
Yes, and so they
right?
come, yeah,
or animals,
yeah, no,
or both.
I don't know what they are. Yeah, something. They're like they look like tiny jellyfish. Like it's just like little animals, and so they're attracted to light, and then they eat the plankton at night, and they have to eat like 100 pounds. So it's like all night they spend feeding to survive, basically. And so we went and we go at night, and it's a wonderful experience and terrifying because, again, I'm not a great ocean dweller like my husband, but I did it with the family because it's a memory. And then we end up towards the end, there's a shark at the bottom. It's a reef shark. I read that they don't kill humans, but it's a shark. A shark is a shark, y'all. And so, like,
it's just dumb.
Why?
I mean, that's true. It is shark is a shark.
A shark is a shark.
But it's not gonna. That's like saying a spider is a spider.
Yeah, you're right. But
there's kind of a pretty big
difference between a tarantula, a black widow, and a wolf spider. There is a lot of difference.
Yeah, or just a daddy long legs.
Yeah.
This dude's chilling.
He's just chilling. Leave him alone. So anyway, at the end, all of my family's on the one side of the little board and I'm on the other for some reason. And so they're letting everyone back in the boat and it's clear there's a shark. And I didn't care. I didn't follow the order. I got out of the way and got up on the boat as fast as I could. I didn't want to die in front of my family. But there's this memory now that we have of like mom acted a little crazy to not die off of the boat we were not going to die anyway. But and you can't do that without spending some money and forcing yourself, because multiple people have been like, why would you even go and do that? I can't believe you would even do it. I'm like, you got to try some new things to see how, you got to try.
If you died via shark attack, I would not be able to make it through preaching your funeral without laughing multiple times. I would be crying so sad, but then burst out into laughter.
Like he got
like what?
That is the most absurd thing. Yeah, to get.
So there you go.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay, camp is coming, and the reason that we do it,
this is where it is. This is where we're going.
The reason that we lean so hard into doing our own camp and pushing and inviting, because we have 200 coming.
Yeah.
200 students coming to camp this year, is because we know that these memories, these moments, these God encounters are going to last with them throughout a lifetime.
Yeah.
I remember these camp moments, meeting with God for some of the first times in my life, and they're anchors in my faith.
Right.
That it wasn't hype. It wasn't somebody fabricated up. It was God spoke to me. Mm-hmm. It was God said something, and then a leader came and had no idea that God said it, and they affirmed this exact same sentence that God just spoke to me. And I'm like, oh, God is real.
Right.
God is speaking to me. And not only the spiritual moments, but the like power of healthy community and like some of these biggest celebration, happy friendship moments that I had in my life at camp helped me remember like I'm not alone. And as long as I'm chasing the right friends, I'm going to be okay.
Right. Well, I read a thing that said 90% of kids' core memories happen on trips. On family trips is what it was mostly talking about. But it talked about the intentionality of going away. And it said it doesn't even have to be a trip outside your house. You could be a trip to the backyard and go camping. But the intentionality to
Something
shift
different
from your regular routine and for parents to say, I see you, I value you, and I'm making a different environment for you creates the core memories. And those same things are true. I think that's why kids and youth camp, it's while you're young. It's creating these memories while I remember a lot about being 8 to 17. I don't remember a ton about 24 or 26. Like if you ask me what happened at those, unless I have like a barometer and a calendar, like of like time, barometer of time and a calendar where I can go, oh, that was when this happened. I'm not going to tell you, but I can tell you what happened when I was 16. I can tell you what happened in my life at 14. Like those core times of your life are the building blocks kind of who you are and what you believe and like your life experiences. And I think that we say it to parents, like a week of camp is like a year of spiritual, education and transformation for their life. But it's really the intentionality to get away from what's normal and regular and routine and to put them in an environment where, they're forced to build community with people they don't always know or always spend time with. And they're forced to get outside of their comfort zone to play silly games. I mean, the games we play are not just basketball and baseball.
No, we make up the games.
They're absurd games.
So that certain kids just can't dominate.
Right.
It's so that everybody's on
everybody's on an even playing field and everybody's like, what is this absurd game? But it also then, what is the word? It kind of sets their hearts correctly. Like it
breaks the tension of, people don't worship because they don't want to look stupid. But if you just look stupid playing a game,
exactly,
then you're like, I'm already kind of
I can lift my hands because And so, and then
I just chanted blue team for 3 hours.
Right. And then we're taking them out of their regular church environment, putting them in a new, it's part of why because we have great communicators here at More Church, but it's part of why, especially in youth, we bring in some random somebody they don't know because it breaks the norm of like, oh, somebody else is coming and saying a very similar thing than Pastor Brady, Pastor Tyler, whoever has been saying to me all year long. They're saying a similar thing, but in a new font. And so it creates these memories that really build a lifetime of what they believe in, and I believe set the foundation for their relationship with God. And so for some kids, it's going to be the first time they slept away from their parents. Yeah. And like there's a memory made and like, I did it. I didn't cry and go home, right? Yeah. For other kids, it's going to be this like opportunity to make a new friendship and like, and then for others, it's going to be this moment where they find God in a new way. I can remember one year I went, so we had kids camp and youth camp. And then one year, for whatever reason, our little area made this thing called intermediate camp. And so it was like kind of that 5th, 6th, 7th grade, right in between being a kid and a youth. And we only took this small group of like 10 kids from my church went to it. And it was my favorite camp I ever went on. And I think it was because of this small intentionality and then being so like focused on my age group. But I have so many like, core belief moments that happened just in that 1 week that really set the trajectory of my life. I remember praying specifically for some prayers that needed to be answered and that they were answered. I remember like the encounter with God that I had of just like the confidence of who I was in Christ. And like, I'm so pumped for these young ones to go. Lily is about that same age that I was at that camp. And I'm like, what an awesome opportunity for this year. It's because this is her first youth camp, right? Yeah. Which is going to be such a cool, like, the grownness of like having to get yourself ready, all of it. There's so many memories that like it establishes you for forever. Yeah. Super fun.
Memories.
So,
as a dad now, and even as a pastor now, I look at moments to like not just get through them, but what's the memory that we're making, Yeah. And so I told a story in here a while ago about how me and Titus were shoveling rocks in the backyard.
Yes.
And how like I did a really good job not at just shoveling rocks, but making it a memory. And that was a shifting point for me as a dad. Like, okay, how do I turn this into into a memory, into a confidence booster, into a whatever, instead of just like get through it. And so, guys, we're in summer now. Like by the time you're watching this, you're fully in summer mode. So like, let's make some intentional memories with your spouse, with your kids. If you're single, with some friends, like with your relationship with God, like let's just be intentional to chase moments where we can have a solidified memory.
Well, and I think it's important to say, like, if you're like, we don't have the budget this year for a family trip, cool. Can you go to the zoo?
Yeah.
Can you like make a picnic in the backyard that's different? Can you just do something that makes a core memory?
We, when we were church planning at the very beginning, had no money. And so we were like, we need to take a vacation. So you know what we did is we moved all of the furniture in our bedroom, put it to like the other side of the room, and we used the spare bathroom. And we made it like, we can't afford to be in a hotel.
Right.
And we said, we're going to eat out every meal. So like, we can't travel, we can't go somewhere. And we all went to places that we had never been. And I promise that you could have a vacation in DFW Metroplex and do stuff that you've never done. I bet you could have a vacation in Arlington Grand Prairie and do, you know how much new stuff they got in Grand Prairie?
Good grief, so many.
Bro, killing the game, GP.
Yes.
There's so much stuff that you could do that you haven't done. Just be intentional with it.
It's true. And I think that you and I, we've built a list in the past of like restaurants we want to go to.
Yeah.
And we still never have even
haven't
touched,
made it.
like any of them. And so I'm like, just find, and I think the other piece, what you're saying is so good. Do something you would not normally do. Something that puts you out of your comfort zone is some of the best memories of my life come from moments where I was just thrust out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And so like pick something that's totally unique or that you're terrible at, or you know you're going to embarrass yourself, and then just go all in and like let yourself be all in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
Nothing.
That's it.
It's good.
I can't wait to hear about how camp goes and tell all the stories.
I can't wait. Hey, but you know what we would love is for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, share. Are we supposed to say all that? Oh,
And
but
Tom
really,
around town.
what do we, okay, which of these hats do you guys like?
Oh
Do
yeah.
you like Start
tell
More
us-
Parties? Do you like the one I got on? Do you like
Tom,
the
Teddy
Tom
Moore?
or the blue microphone guy? Because we're going to order more of these and we're going to put them in the Moore store, but we want to get ones that you guys are going to actually like. And then what do you think a hat's worth? What do you think?
Yeah.
What should we, because like, listen, our goal is to not make money.
Right.
But our goal is also to not
charge.
lose money. Like,
Correct.
I don't want to lose money on these.
Right.
But if you go to a store and see you said you bought the hat, how much?
The one I bought was cheap. It was like $18, but it was a cheap hat. Also, these are a good quality hat, so that's the other part.
But I don't want to charge more than $20 for a hat, right?
20 is what we're thinking. I think that's a good, because I'm like, those Melon or whatever they're called, those are $65. That's crazy. Like, we're not trying to spend.
Yeah.
We're not trying to charge. You go buy like a Titleist hat at the golf shop, it's gonna be $38 probably. Like, so we're not trying to charge what you would have to pay
for a Nike hat.
for a Nike hat at the store. You know, but it is going to be a little more than the $5.99 Bass Pro Shop hat, because
well, those are
that's a joke, right?
And they print 1 billion of those.
Correct.
We're making 30
Yes,
of each.
exactly.
So a little bit more money.
But I think 20 is probably the right amount. But
$20.
$20.
All right, guys, if you like hat, tell us which
We
one.
asked what you think, and now we're just setting the price. It's $20.
Well, no, but
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
just
that's
kidding.
true.
No, but I think 20 is good, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would pay $20. We pay $20 for lunch sometimes.
Boom.
Hello.
I can wear this more than once.
That's right.
Guys, love y'all.
Love y'all.
See ya.
Bye.